I love Woodlon.
I drive 50 miles to get here one way every day.
I wish I could be a student here.
It's a good
The first thing that caught our eye was the historic house. It's a pre-Civil War National Register of Historic Places. Coupled that with this campus, which we thought made an ideal place for a school. 61 acres, nice outdoor environment. You put all that together with small class size, you get a place where you can do many things.
This is a dream. When I taught at public school for 7 years, I typically had classrooms, 30, 31 kids. So to have a small group of kids that I can interact with one-on-one on a daily basis, we can really take the kids far. Once you have the number of meters, you should be able to convert that number of meters to any other metric measure.
We make that into centimeters, millimeters, decameters, kilometers.
What do you think are some of the risks involved in losing your cultural identity?
I think that we do a great job of creating that environment for discovery. And as much as I want that for my students, I want that for myself. You know, I benefit from that as much as they do. A good classroom discussion enriches my life as much as I want it to enrich their lives.
To build off of each other's ideas and lead to new concepts maybe you wouldn't have thought of by yourself.
For a culture to survive, it'll have to change a little bit because the world changes around them.
In a circle, in the outdoors, it's amazing.
Learning inside four walls sometimes limits the child, and they're looking outside. If you ever notice in many classrooms, if somebody's daydreaming, what are they doing? They're looking out the window. What we really try to do here at Woodlawn is encourage students to see that learning doesn't have to happen within four walls.
When I came here and saw the gardens, I saw such potential for the children to be out in the natural world learning. That is a perfect little pearl, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Would you like to take that home?
Yeah.
I enjoy that we get to garden with second graders all the way up through eighth graders. We see that continuum of learning about the gardens and what they provide for us first, and then later the children actually understanding biodiversity.
It's important to recycle because it will go to a landfill and it'll just take a long time to decompose. But if we use them again, they won't decompose and we can practically use it forever.
The new buildings that we have opened up September of '08 are a huge addition for us. It's our first major building project. It doubles our square footage, lets us have a gym for the first time so we can have home basketball games, we can have performances, and a classroom with a lab in it. It lets us have a real upper school environment.
I am currently teaching AP US History. Our AP World History class is exciting for me because it's done over 2 years so that we don't have to kind of rush through all the material and it's able to be integrated with the other disciplines.
What we try to do when we create the curriculum is to get together as teachers and figure out, how can the books that I'm teaching in English enrich what you're learning in history.
Sí, muy bien, Castro. Sí, Fidel Castro es un buen ejemplo de un dictador, sí.
The idea is that we're enriching their understanding by tying it in together.
When my sons come home, the dinner table conversation is fascinating. We'll get into deep conversations about immigration and the challenges that this country faces today because they've looked at immigration through this integrated curriculum, from the history of immigration to the literature of immigration to the music of immigration, even the mathematics of immigration. So we have these far-ranging discussions on topics that I never would have believed 8 and 12-year-olds would be engrossed in.
I get my ideas from the students themselves. I look at what's reaching them and what doesn't reach them. In my pre-calculus class a couple weeks ago, we were kicking footballs around, measuring parabolas and seeing how high we can get up in the air.
And I think that sense of freedom gives us the opportunity to kind of express who we are, and it lets us put part of ourselves into what we're teaching, and I think that comes across to the students as a little more exciting and a little more dynamic.
Tests are important. We do really well on tests here, but the test isn't everything. We want to get beyond the test and get into real lifelong learning.
The difference for me between other private schools and Woodlawn is really trying to prepare students to be citizens of the world, trying to get them involved in service, not by saying, here's some service hours that you have to do, or we're going to collect money for this project, but we're going to educate you about a need and then show you ways to solve that problem, how you can volunteer, how you can be part of that, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that and see what impact that had on you.
What we did with these shirts is we created screens, and they had to create a shirt that drew attention to their service project. and we also displayed them in the community. And our hope was to use art to convey a message to a wider audience.
Last year, we did the Bryan Center, which is a home for senior citizens, and we would go there, and we each had a buddy who was an elderly person, and we got to know them, and we had a senior prom, and it was a blast.
As much as we want to create a community here, which is very important, we want to take this community and interact with the world. And so our students travel abroad every year.
My 10th grader, Sayer, has been to Costa Rica, Spain, Italy, getting ready to go to Argentina. I think it's had a lot to do with shaping her.
It's always been important for us to create independent, lifelong learners and for them to be aware of what's going on in the world as a whole. Everything we've done, we look back at that mission statement and make sure that it fits with that.
Everything that you've filmed today is what happens every day. It's not just for the film. That's the beauty of Woodlawn, is that there's something dynamic going on every single day.
Seeing kids come in and catch that spark and really want to come to school every day and try to really do what matters here, show connections between the real world, seeing them catch that spark and then go on to be great college students, great citizens in the global community. That's what it's all about.